Lo ahí. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to tonight's show. Tonight's show, we are going to be bringing on the beings, and the beings have a message for us humans. So they're going to be sharing their message tonight. And we've also got the lovely Annette Williamson. She's going to be coming on board to share her experiences with the beings and basically how the beings have changed her life. They've changed both of our lives, but it's nice to hear somebody else's opinion and their pathway with regards to the beings. Yeah, so it's going to be quite a packed hour because I'm going to be interviewing Annette Williamson. Then I'm going to be going into the vortex to see what messages the beings have for us. And then I'll bring back Annette on to discuss what the beings have said. Welcome, Jan. Welcome, Amit. Welcome, everyone. Throughout the hour, if you feel like you want to, do a text, or you want to ask the beings something, or you're not sure with what they're saying, then you can just write it down and you can ask them afterwards if you choose to. The one thing about the beings is that they do not speak our language. They're not human-like in that way. They're energy forms. So sometimes when they're explaining through the language of what we know, it can be a bit confusing at times, and they do tend to repeat themselves. So for that reason, feel free to type away. Hello, greetings, Julie, Leanne, Afia, greetings, guys. So before we start, I just wanted to do a little introduction. Anyone that doesn't know, three beings came to visit myself in 2017. I saw them. They had a massive head. They had no eyes, mouth, nose, or ears, and a small body, and they were quite small. Three of them came to visit me in my living room, and since then it has changed my life. They've come with many messages, many messages. They've given me many teachings, and now they want to bring it out to other humans. I'm not the only person that they connect with and have connect with. They've also connected with Annette Williamson, who's going to be on shortly, and she's going to give you her experiences as well. Greetings, Vanessa. So before we bring on Annette, I just wanted to share something with you. So this is one of the teachings of the beings. So in here, as you can see, it's water, but it's rainwater. Rainwater. It's from the elements. Now, in 2017, when the beings were here, at the beginning of them coming through and sharing information, they said that we should be using rainwater. It's the elements. It's pure. It has its own energy form that really can connect with our body, our immune system, and our energy form, if you want to call it that. So I use this rainwater. Now, what happened to me in a couple of years ago, I was having problems with my eyes, and the eye opticians that I was going to at the time couldn't really find what was wrong with me, what was wrong with my eyes. And what was happening is when it became nighttime, I wasn't feeling comfortable with driving. I wasn't seeing clearly, and I could tell there was just something going on with my eyes, but I didn't know what it was. So I went to another optician's, a specialist that can really look into my eyes to see what was the matter with my eyes. And they could see that I was starting to get slight cataracts on my eyes. Plus, I had dry eyes on top of that. So they wanted to give me treatment and stuff like that. And I said, hang on a minute, let me think about this with what's going on here. Because they said you're really young to be getting cataracts already. Went home, and we already knew, myself and Annette already knew about rainwater. And I got some rainwater, and I started to use the actual rainwater. And I have it in this little tub here because it's easy to get into my eyes. And I used that for about 6 months. I didn't go back to the optician straight away. The being said, use it, give it time, and use it and use it and use it. And I used to use it every day. And then when I went back in about 6 months' time, done the test again, and the cataracts had gone. So I'm sharing this because we are told not to use elements of the rainwater, which is pure, which is from the elements. We are told not to use it. Yeah. Why are we told not to use it? We need to look into that. Yeah. Because I know personally for myself, I used it for my eyes. I use it now for other things as well. I drink it as well. I drink drops to purify my body as well. But for my eyes, that was like magic to me, because a couple of years ago, I'm still quite young, to start getting cataracts already. I was like, what is this? I might have to have the operation, and for the beings to say, nope, rainwater, use rainwater. Humans are meant to be using rainwater more often. And I'm telling you, from my personal experience, it has worked. So just wanted to share that with you guys, because the beings are not just here to just give information. The beings are here for teachings. Yeah, they are here for teachings. The other thing that they have given to us is some light codes. So they've put together some light codes that they downloaded into me, and the light codes are for humans to be able to have access to their contract. That's what it's there for humans to be able to have access to their contract. A lot of us, again, are not educated to go within. So we don't know, or we're not connecting to our contract. We might have bits and pieces that we might, hear a calling for, but to fully understand, we don't really understand that. Yeah. So if anyone wants some more information on the light codes, you can inbox me and I can give you some more information on that. The light codes is their language, is our language, is my language. And there's sounds and there's vibrations and there's letters and symbols with regards to the light code as well. So there's a format to it. And I'm going really briefly into the light codes, but there's so much more to the light codes. I mean, it changes your life because it makes you see things that you wasn't seeing before. Yeah, you're using other senses that you wasn't using before. It's very magical. That's all that I can say. So if anyone's interested in knowing a bit more on the light codes, you can inbox me. Before we bring Annette on, I just want to give thanks to the beings. They're here. They're right here. And I just want to welcome them and just give them love and peace and thanking them for being here. Lo ai akatuka ai su te o wo tuka boka u ai mo. Lo ai. That's their language that they downloaded to me, taught me, and anyone can have access to the light codes. And yeah, anyone that knows about light codes and knows about symbols, like Reiki symbols and Kundalini vibrations, they know that it's an energy force that works. This is the same. The only difference I would say is this is specifically to open up your contract, because this is what we're not remembering. And that is what these light codes are for, is to open up our contract. Yeah. Okay. So I am going to introduce the wonderful Annette Williamson. Annette Williamson is, I shared last week, she was my hairdresser. So she wasn't a close friend. She was my hairdresser that used to do my hair once in a while. And one day when I put up the beings pictures and I said, "Are you ready yet?" Something like that, she just connected. And from there, the beings connected with her and changed her world. So please, 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 welcome. Oops.
Hello.
I just got locked out there.
Oh no.
Yeah, but you are here. I'm just going to make sure you're on properly. Welcome, Annette.
Hello.
Can everyone hear Annette? Good. And am I echoing, guys?
I can't hear it.
Okay. So I'm sure everyone can hear. If you can't hear, just do a type in. They said there's a little echo. So I'm going to turn it down a bit. And yeah, little echo. Hopefully this will be better. Yeah? So, okay. Welcome, Annette.
Hello.
Williamson. I hope we're able to get through this interview with not too much echoing, guys. Sorry about that. I think it's just part of the internet access that's going on. When Annette comes on, it echoes for some reason. So Annette, welcome. Introduce yourself.
Okay.
And let's go right in and share your introduction of how you connected with the beings.
Well, it's pretty much as you said. I mean, I was your hairdresser, so we'd met just a few times before. And then we didn't see each other for a good year and a half because I was going through my dad had cancer, so I was backwards and forwards with him to chemo. And I remember, because literally that morning where I saw the picture of the beings, that morning there, I think my dad had passed about 2 or 3 weeks prior to the beings turning up. And I hadn't told you, and I hadn't spoken to anybody apart from immediate family. And anyway, when you put that picture up, I don't know what happened. Well, I do know now, but at the time, I don't know what happened. I was drawn to it straight away. However, I do feel that I had, now looking back, I was definitely searching. I've been searching for something. I knew something was coming in my life. I couldn't put my finger down on it, what it was. So I remember calling you up straight away. And actually, I came round that day on the Monday. I said, what's going on? And I actually remember you saying to me, I said the words to the fact of, what's going on? You know, what's this picture about? And it was quite early in the morning because I remember, I don't even know why I didn't. I don't normally even go on Facebook first thing in the morning. For some reason, I did. And I remember you saying, "Oh, my alien being family have turned up," and I didn't even find it well. I don't know. I don't think I found it that shocking. That's the bit that really I think's quite weird. I just sort of went, "Oh, fantastic! Can I come round?" I mean, it was literally, I didn't question you. I didn't question what you were saying. I just went, "Okay, can I come round?" And I mean, it was such an amazing day that first day. I remember driving home in a daze. I mean, and I actually remember you when they first showed up as well. And I know you said to people, I mean, you're very cool and people might see you now and you look all calm and collective and you're sort of, talking to the beings and it's all very natural now. But when they first came, it was slightly different because it was very new. So, and I remember I was sitting opposite you and we were literally having a cup of herbal tea, and you were just telling me what had happened, and then your whole body just froze. And literally, I remember you just moving your eyes, literally going, "They're over there. They're in the by the door." And then, but your body, I mean, you're so relaxed now. Then it was completely different. We both, well, I didn't really know what was going on, apart from the fact that I knew you all of a sudden seemed scared, is the word, if I was going to put the word on it, unsure and scared, and your whole body had just frozen completely, and you were just terrestrial your eyes. And then they came in and just took over that whole conversation, and there was no time for fear or any questions, because the questions that they asked us were, or it wasn't even questions, they told us about ourselves separately, was so spot on that I remember it just grabbed my attention. There was no time to think about what's going on. It was a case of wow, wow, wow. And yeah, so and then
what sort of things do you think grabbed you with what they were saying? What was it that grabbed you?
Well, first of all, they asked, I remember you saying they want to speak to you. And I just remember thinking, I can't actually see anything, but I wasn't scared, but I knew there was something I could feel something was, I can't even describe to people what I felt, because I didn't know what I was speaking to, because Zoe could physically see them. And I could see she was slightly scared by it. And I remember saying, she said, "They're here." And I remember saying, "Where are they?" And she pointed, and then she said, "Oh, they're coming closer. They're coming in by about 1 meter, and now they're standing there." And I remember thinking, still, I was like, well, I don't know. And then they just said, "Haven't you had enough yet?" And I thought, well, that's weird. That's quite a weird opening conversation. And then they flowed. I remember this directly after that. They said to us, "What do you humans think happens if you pick a flower?" And both of us kind of were a bit compost dies, And then I remember they said, "No, nothing dies, energy can't die, it can only change form." And then from that moment, for that next hour, they spoke about dimensions. I remember they explained the soul contract in that first hour, well, very briefly, because they sort of said, well, you both have this, your energy, and you're both different. You experience different things here in this reality, and you like this and Annette likes that, and you like this and Annette likes that, and things that you didn't know about me and I didn't know about you. Mm-hmm. They just blurted straight out. And yeah, that was just amazing, that first hour. And from that first hour was just, it just literally took my reality and just went, turned it straight on its head. And from that moment, I remember people around me that were just seeing me. I'd literally gone from, I was into because I'd done a little bit of life coaching. I was into that sort of field, and I'd done a bit of research into I liked into different religion. I was searching. I had loads of questions. I had all these questions. I was definitely searching. So when they turned up, it was lovely. It was like having, I say to people, it's like having your ultimate big brother, everything involved in one. You could just ask them a question and they would give you the ultimate answer, and it was just brilliant. And
so I was just going to ask you,
I get so excited about it.
Yeah, what was it like for you when you started to actually feel them yourself? When did that come?
That really came, I think from the day dot, I started to feel, I can say I physically shook a lot. I have quite a buzzy energy anyway, and I'm aware of that. But I could physically feel them as soon as they turned up. And you said that from your house. And there was a Pacific, you can't see it because it's behind me. There was a corner of my house that I felt them vibrating from, and I would say that that's where they were standing, even though I couldn't see them. If I wanted to say they were somewhere in my house, that's where it was pulsating from, and I felt that always throughout that first sort of 3 months encounter. I feel back to kind of not normal, because I've changed, but I'm not like I was. It took 3 years really to sort of steady my energy. It's not been easy, because at the beginning, constant. They were talking constantly. So it was very busy. And then we had loads of confirmation with yourself to sort of prove that they were talking to me without me actually seeing them. So they would say something, and then I remember we wouldn't have spoken maybe for a day. And then I might have wrote it. I remember I used to write it down, so I'd write it down. And then maybe we'd touch base in the evening, and I'd say, oh, the being's been round. And you'd say, yes, they've been speaking about X, Y, and Z. And I'd go, oh, there they have it. I've got it right there. They've been speaking the same to me all day. And I remember that was constant confirmation for me to let me know that in my contract, because they did say, because we did ask them why you see them and why I didn't. And they did say that in each energy's realities, their contracts are going to be completely different. But so in my reality, I chose to experience them through you like this at the beginning, and it would grow, because I remember, you know, towards the end of that time when they were really intense for that first 3 months, at the end of it, I really felt like they were trying to say, we've given you everything you need now. You just need to believe that you need to put it in action. You need to talk and we will answer, and you'll need to recognize them and see it all around you as well, because it doesn't come in just from them. I remember them saying, you know, your friend could give you a message, or, you know, a piece of radio or a piece of music or something on the telly. It's literally everywhere, and it comes in everywhere. And once you're open to receive it, you will get it from everywhere. And I often speak to my girlfriends, and they won't be talking, and they'll come out and say something, and I'll say, oh, beings are talking through you. And they'll go, what? And I'll say, you don't know who they are, but I had that question today in thought, and you've just answered it verbally, and I haven't even asked you anything to do with that subject, yet you are answering it. And I said, and I remember in the first stages in the first year, I used to really see that a lot. Now I see it a lot, but I'm much more calmer with it. So
Good. No, I like that. So what about your drawings? Let's bring your drawings into it. So you went down a road of doing some fantastic drawings with regards to the beings. That's another way of connecting with them. So when did that come along? How did that happen?
That was pretty strong from the start, I think, because I couldn't, some of the things that they were telling us in the early days when they started to talk about elements and energies and dimensions and things like that, I might have heard those words, but I've never heard them in one sentence that I was reading or even directed to me. That wasn't in my reality. I was a hairdresser and I was into things like that. So I found that when they were talking to us and they were giving us information, because we're both dyslexic, and the way I were taking it, I found it, I literally would get a piece of information from them and I would say, okay, how can I put that into a picture so that I can understand that? Because if I put it into a picture, I will, in order for me to translate that message into a picture, I have to really understand what you're saying to me. And then by translating that then into the picture, it's concreted it. I can't explain, you know, instead of me just writing, because, you know, I did write as well, because I had this overwhelming urge to write everything down, which I did for the first probably a year and a half. Every day when they came, what they said to Zoe, what they me, where they were, what we were talking about, and then everything like that, because I just couldn't believe what was going on, really. And it was my way of dealing with the shock of it, and it was constant. It was not just like one, you know, like, oh yeah, this one day they said this. It was maybe 3 times a day they might say something, and it could be different things, or it could be about the same thing, and then the next day it'd be something, or it could be something completely different. It was constant. It felt like it literally was being back at school. That's how I felt. It was being completely back at school. Everything that we had, you know, went out the window. I had a teacher that I could ask questions to. So if we didn't understand it, we could ask them what they were talking about, and they could explain it, because I like you, weren't this what we talk about now. I had heard it, but now it's completely different. Now I'm hearing it and seeing it and feeling it. So there's a difference to it. But yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah. So another thing I want to ask is what was it like for your friends and family because I know for me, I had my own experiences with my friends and, you know, well, the little of my friends, but mostly my family, you know, they got used to it after a while because they were around so much. You couldn't hide it.
No, couldn't
You
stop
know,
talking
there was
about
no
it.
hiding because they were just around so much. So we had to be open to it. So what was it like for your family?
Do you know, looking back now, I again, because the beings have already explained to us that our contracts have already been made. We've made our contracts. So everybody in my life I put there, everybody I'm going to come in contact with, I've already planned to come in contact with. You know, we know this. So they told us that while, you know, in the early days, and I don't know if that was my register to go or not, but when they first came, I couldn't stop talking about them to everybody, and it was really hard not to, because it was so exciting, and I was just remember going, it's just speaking to these beings, it's just amazing, and I just wanted to tell everybody. And I think people that are watching this now who know me can definitely say that they heard me speak like that, because I was really trying not to, but it was like almost impossible. It was like, I say to people, it was like getting run over by a bus. And then the next day you're like, oh my goodness, I got run over by a bus yesterday. You'd never forget, you know, it was like that, but billion times ultra massiver. I can't even put my hands on it. It was just, even now when I think about it, because sometimes if I get down, I'll just think, oh, how dare you get down? You're speaking to beings. And I'm, oh yes, I am. Oh yes, I forgot about that. I forgot I'm speaking to the beings, and I can do that. It's because it's got a bit, you know, it's become me now. It's become part of my every existence and day. But in the early days, I remember one of my friends actually, she said to me, oh, now I used to work for Minds in charity. So I've worked with people with bipolar and very deep depression and things like that. So I've done all that. And I was sitting in a house and I really didn't want to keep speaking about them because I knew she weren't ready for it. Some people were. My sister, absolutely straight on, didn't question it, was like, wow, 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 wow. I remember, oh, bless her. Yeah, my brother a bit, but my friends, obviously, I don't have many close friends. So, and people that I do know who know me will watch this will know that I am chatty. So, and I'm quite open. So it was just natural for me to start going blah, 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 until I calmed down. But one friend did say she thought I might have been suffering from bipolar. And I remember thinking, laughing, I said, I can really totally understand why you would think that. Because obviously what I'm saying to you is really, really unusual. But I can't, everything that I've heard from them sits. There's nothing that I question. There's nothing they've said to me where I thought, well, I don't know about that. I said, everything has sit. And if it hasn't sat, then I've been able to ask them. And they've told me, they've explained it, and then it's sat. And I said, so, you know, but now people that are in my life are evolving at their own DNA state. I don't know, but they are definitely, when the beings first came, I remember them, their message was that the humans were ready. I remember we asked them why they'd come, and they said humans were ready. And they said that we were going to be entering into this shift, this you know, consciousness shift. Excuse me. And I remember thinking, oh, I don't know how that's going to happen. Anyway, and there we are. And here we are.
No, that is really. Did you ever get anyone question the fact that obviously I was the one that saw the beings first and then you felt them? Was there anyone saying, well, how do you know that she's even seen these beings or aliens or Tron for you to be able to take it on in that way?
Everybody nearly said it. Everybody I felt thought it. I heard them think it, right? Everybody. There's not one person that didn't think that. But the people that are in my life know me. And I said, I can't explain to you how I know that she's not lying, right? I just know. And I said, plus they connected to me. And when the beings first came, they were to get, you know, they told us a lot of things to get us on board because they knew what we're going to experience. So the first hour's conversation, they weren't messing about. They came in and said, Annette, you do this, bang, 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 bang. And they said, Zoe, you do this, bang, 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 bang. And it left us both like this, because I knew that you didn't know those things about me, and I knew that I didn't know all those things about you, because we didn't know each other that well. So, and then the other things they started to be, I can't, but because they are us and they're part of us, that's why it felt so like home. But the energy was intense. That's all I say to people. I can't even describe to people what I felt the energy was. I felt like I was physically part of the universe vibrating through me. That is the only way to describe some points. Very intense.
So where are you now? Where are you now in this present moment with the beings? How do you connect with them now? And how are they part of your life?
Oh gosh, they're well part of my life, because every time I try and say, I mean, there have been occasions in the past, I remember in the summer where I was thinking to myself, oh, I've had enough now. I want to just be normal again. I don't want to think about anything B&E or anything like that. I remember thinking that I just want to be able to watch a movie without having all these things coming to me. But I remember saying that to you over Christmas once, when the beings were really connecting to me through you. So I wasn't trusting at that point. I had my own connection. I really relied on you heavily. Each question that I had, I would go through you, ask the beings this, ask the beings that, da 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 da. So I was very heavily reliant on you there, to where I am now, where I think that where I am now is that I am, they are not all, they are always around us. I feel them always around us, but it's a difference. This time I can choose to click in. I can actually choose to click in and say, right, I have a question now, and I'll go in, or it's a feeling, or it's pictures. It's still the same way. This summer, the last 7-8 weeks, I've gone through a period of time where I've decided right, I need to stop talking now, because I've talked for nearly 2.5 years about the beings. So I thought I need to just stop talking now and just start experiencing and start listening to what I'm saying and things like that. So I did that for a while, and I'm still doing that now, trying to experience that experience as an experience. But then the other part of it is that I remember the whole point of the being saying that this is like a fairground to us humans. It's to experience all different kinds of emotions, happy, sad, all these things. And these are emotions. And that's the key, the emotion for the energy to grow. So as much as I am taking a step back, I still know that I have to go in and live. Because if I don't go in and live, and I just sit in my house all day and not communicate to anybody and not do anything at all, that's good in the silence moment. But then every time you need silence, then after that you'll need movement. So I'm just trying to practice really what they've been saying.
Yeah. And I know when we parted for that time, you went on your journey with the beings. I went on my journey with the beings. You chose to speak about them and go on interviews. You went on many interviews and shared your story. I went the opposite, where I went within and went through my own teachings. They've done me so much teaching. So what you're doing now, I done it then. I went into
it's like the
experience.
reverse. I know.
Yeah.
I recognise that.
I went to do the experience side.
Yeah.
You went to do the outside or sharing, and then now I'm doing the sharing, and you're going within to say, I want to experience everything that they're saying. I want to be it. Yeah. So what was it like for you when you started to share their story?
Quite scary.
Our story, their story.
Well, you know what? At the beginning, I was under this energy. As I said, I don't know what energy. It was an energy. And it was just like love and light. Like, here it is. I've got some brilliant news for you. The beings are here. They're going to help us sort it all out. So, just chill out, really. And I was literally like that to everybody. Oh, don't worry about it. We're sorted. We really are sorted. And no, but I still can be a bit like that now. I can't remember what you asked me now because I've just got into
that. About when you went to do the sharing with the interviews.
Oh yeah, no, well yeah, that's exactly what it was like. So I sent letters out to nearly every single body I could think about, that anybody that was into anything to do with aliens, UFOs, beings, consciousness, things that resonated. I tried to connect with a lot of people. I did do a lot of interviews, and it was really cool because while I was doing the interviews, I remember the beings were coming. I remember them connecting, because when they would connect, I'd feel cold. I'd actually physically start to feel, when they're around, it doesn't matter if the heating's on. I know I start to feel cold. And I know that's in consciousness. There's something else going on that I'm not aware of. And then when I come back in, I'm sort of like, oh, it's a bit chilly around here. And that went on for a little while, a good while. And as you say, now I do realise it's like with you and I, it's like almost, well, they did say yin and yang. So it's like I recognise that. I thought, so I recognise you being in that place where I was, where that, it's like, it's just this brilliant news. You're full of it. You've got all the sharings to give. I mean, I didn't have everything you had back then. So, but now I am definitely in a different place. I'm in a place of, I'm quite content. I have no fear. So because there's no fear, and I can literally, and I do realise that I can honestly, tune in and talk in whenever I want to. It is pretty cool. But, the thing is that I remember that I do say to my friends is that you see them. I don't see them. And I know I don't see them. I mean, in fact, last night it was really weird because I was talking yesterday with the beings yesterday evening, just briefly, and I went to bed and this feeling came in about, I don't know why, but it came in that I had to reaffirm that I remember saying, just putting it out there, definitely don't want to see you, right? Don't want to be horrible, but I know I can't take it in my reality. I think I must have been watching about people having different experiences. And I just thought, I know I don't have to say that, but I just want to put it, I know they know that already because I've already, it's already been agreed before I got here. And there was something else that I wanted to say. Oh yeah, the other thing that I wanted to bring up is I remember over Christmas time speaking to you in that 3 months, and I remember saying to you over Christmas when they first arrived, oh, it's really busy, I can't do all the writing, and they were giving us so much information. And I said, I just want to have a break for Christmas. And I remember you coming back with something. It's never, ever left me. And you said, the beings said, why would you want to have a break from yourself? And I thought, I understand that now. I really understood that because it's my contract. It's my contract talking to the beings. It's my contract. It's taken a long time for that to come in. But everything that they sort of spoke about is slowly showing itself and sort of resonating and then repeating things constantly is still being repeated and things like that. But yeah.
Wow, amazing, Annette. Serious. I thank you for sharing your concept with regards to this one energy, that we connected with. We know that it's not just us.
Yeah.
There's so much other humans out there that they connect with, and they connect with them in the present moment. It's like us. There's no timing. They don't have time. So it's all at the same time they're connecting. And it's just really amazing. So there's not even much more we can say. I'm going to start to go into the vortex now because I can feel them. I can feel their energy coming in now. So Annette's going to come back on afterwards, after the vortex, with the discussion. If anyone's written anything down, I'll see if there's any messages that comes up. For any reason, if the internet access goes or disappears, I'm going to be in the vortex. I'm not going to know. So I will just come back on if you guys are there afterwards, if that does happen. Okay? All right, so I'm going to, if you're going to mute yourself, Annette, and when Annette mutes herself, the echo goes. So, that's why. So I'm going to, I don't want to take nothing off. So now I'm going to go into the vortex with the beings see what they have to say to us, see what messages they want to share, and really just take it from there. When I go into the vortex, I'm going into their energy. So I'm not here for that moment. That's why I said if anything happens to the internet, I'm not going to know. I won't be able to stop it. I won't be able to come back on at that time. So hopefully, they can work with that. So that doesn't need to happen. I don't know what they're going to say. I don't know what, once I'm going through the vortex, sometimes their language might come in. So they might talk, half of it could be through their language and it could be in our English form. I don't know. I really don't know when I'm going into this. They've asked for this. They've asked me to be a messenger for them, to share more of the information that is needed for humans to, it's like to wake up a bit more, yeah, to be able to wake up a bit more and not rely on others, even though the others is part of us, but to be able to go within more. So what I will say to you is that just for a moment, this is what the beings say, just for the moment, if you can just put down your ego, just put it to the side just for a moment and just be free to just be open to what they have to say, and go within and see what your energy feels. Your energy might be, no, I'm not connecting with that. I don't believe it. I don't even understand what they're saying. It's not for me. Yeah. And that's fine. Or your energy might think, I've always known this, or I've always had a thinking of this, or I don't know this, but I'm getting a drawing that I want to find out more. Yeah. That is when you know that's part of your contract. That's part of the calling, that's saying to you, okay, I want to find out more. I'm feeling this. Or I used to feel this when I was younger. It could be anything, yeah? But put your ego down, have some water, have a cup of tea, have a drink, and we'll see what happens. Okay. Lo ahí. Lo ahí. Lo ko ella, Ellie, lo ahí for me, toka ahí. Humans. Most humans are terrified, thinking that the world's going to end, that the world's going to end. We are here to let you know humans can't end the world. Humans will never be able to end the world. Because how can you end something that you are? We've made it cold in the vortex. We made it cold in the vortex to show you elements have the energy. Mother Earth, Father Earth has the energy to change the energy form, but not end the world. But not end the world. In time to come, humans will be extinct, but not in the way that you think. Humans' body form will change form. But it will not die. Humans would call that extinct. Nothing can be extinct. Dinosaurs changed energy form. We're telling you this because we want the energy of all things. You humans needs to communicate, be the oneness. There's too much separation, too much fear, not enough enjoyment, not enough fun. Humans, you are not your body. Stop being fearful of energy change. Understand energy changes form constantly. We are talking to you every moment, every second has already gone. It's moving. It's changed form. Have a look around. Have a look around you. What do you see? What do you really see? And what do you think you see? Do you think you're sitting on a chair right now? Do you think you're listening to us right now? Have a look around right now. And I bet you're looking out of yourself. I bet you're looking out of yourself. Now go within. Go within and have a look around. Now, what do you see? Have a think about that. We are here to give a message. We are here to give a message. Do you know, from a tree to paper, how it gets to the destination? From a tree to paper, how does it transform into a tree to paper? Have a look. That same transformation of a tree and paper being made is like life, is like our life, is like your life here on earth. For you to cut a tree and make a table or make a chair doesn't mean it's not a tree anymore. It's still that tree. It's just changed form. The energy has changed form, but it's still that tree. But now it's a table, or now it's a chair. That is like life. No human dies. You change form. When you understand loving death and not being afraid of death, you will see your life change. When you realize that every single country, island is all one. Nothing is yours. That country over there is not yours. You don't need to fight for a country and kill for a country. The whole universe is ours. We are all from it. Allow the separation to change form into oneness, and you will see your contract start to show itself to you. These messages won't be for everyone, and that's okay. We love that. We love us. But if it is for you, start making the energy move. Start feeling it. Start being it. And start being it without the talking. Use the senses that we tell you. Use the other senses. We always speak about non-verbal humans, the superpowers that they have. but no one never listens to them. We repeat ourselves constantly. Speak to non-verbals. Speak to their energy, their vibration. You will find the answers. Speak to animals, insects. Speak to their vibration. You will find more answers. Speak to your home within, and there you will find your contract. We will be back. We want to show you ways that you can use elements to find your way home. Lo'ai, lo'ai, lo'ai. Guys, I am back. I'm going to connect Annette back. She's still there. Yes, she is. Annette.
Yo.
What I will say is usually I don't remember anything. So, to tell you the truth, I don't remember what has just happened. I hope that they gave messages like they said they would. They never tell me what they're going to share, so I don't know what they're going to share. But it's for this time, for whoever's on, whatever energy's here, you know, and yeah. What did you get, Annette?
Well, they touched on something that when you started speaking about it, or they started speaking through you about it, I remembered it had the pictures and everything come flying back. They took you into the vortex. So I said to you that I connected with the beings in the week because I said to them that I feel that I have to explain like the vortex, because a friend of mine had seen you speak about it, and I said to them, what do you think happens to her? And she said, oh, it makes me feel like she's going somewhere, or she's gone into a box. And I said, well, it's not a box, it's the complete opposite from that. So I looked it up and I sort of felt it, and how it was explained to me was like, let's say you have a cup of coffee, a still cup of coffee, and you're just about to pour some cream in it. When you pour the cream in it, and that motion of the energy swirling is what a vortex is. So again, they did something with you, like last time they took you, they made you cry. This time they put you somewhere very cold, so you were very, very cold, and that wasn't very nice to watch you do that, but that's to show where they're at. They went into no fear, and they explained again that humans don't have the power to end the earth. However, the human race itself, as we see ourselves today, now, is going to change, which is what they had said to us, I remember a couple of years ago, where they said that how we're always evolving and changing form. How we look now is not how we looked, I don't know, let's say, I mean, I'm going to use human terms of time, yeah, but I know effectively there is no time. So we are on constant pockets of now. So this is what could be going on right now as I'm speaking, but we've taken lots of morphs as our outward looking bodies. So they explained that the future, that our human selves are going to change, a human self is going to change form, which is fine, because I understand, I hope I can explain this, that we are always changing form. And each time that we pass, we might choose to come in back at that point in the future, because there is no such thing as time. So what they're elaborating really is something they mentioned a long time ago when they said humans are going to change form, and how we live is going to dramatically change form. We won't eat, we won't drink. We won't have these sort of societies that we have today. They're going to morph into something completely different. There's going to be lots of love and sharing within that. But we don't have to get worried about things like that, because I guess where the teaching came in with us is that we know there's no death. It's just what we're viewing outwardly from within. So it's a cycle. So when they talk about things like that to me, when I can explain that, if I was to explain that to my friends, I would say these are things that there is no death. So if there is no death, these are things that we have all got the choice to experience coming forward.
Yeah, definitely.
So
yeah, I definitely agree with that. For me, it's a message of really understanding what oneness really means, because humans say that a lot. Okay, oneness, yeah, the oneness. Yes, we know that. We love all, and we're meant to be loving all. But to really put that into, and they're talking about humans. When they say humans, they're talking about the whole of humans, not just a collective, not just the collective of a little group. They're talking about the whole of the human race. And when they speak about the whole of the human race, they're also speaking about the whole of energy, which are creatures, which are animals. They never leave them out. The whole of the universe they're talking about. This is what they're coming for. And they like to keep us grounded by saying, yeah, but it's only you humans. You humans can't do this. Your humans can't end the world. You don't have the intellect, to be able to do that. And it's just to keep us grounded. It's for us to remember who we are. And yes, when they're talking, it's not going to be for some of us. We don't see the world in that way. And that's why they say humans. They're talking about hierarchies. They're talking about humans that want to rule the world. Humans that want the world to be theirs. Humans that have chosen to separate finance and, richness. Where there's rich, there's poor. When we know we don't need to live like that. Come on, there's, finance and richness is made up. We don't need, there's no need to be no one poor. So they're going that way. They're talking about those sort of humans as well. Let's go on to see if there's any messages. Can you just put your thing on mute just while I read out some messages, because I can feel myself echoing, and the echo is gone. So I love that. So let me see what I have here, guys. I'm going to try and go up to the top and see if there's any messages for the beings. I've got quite a few messages, guys. I don't think I'll be able to get through all of them. I've got Julie that says, I've got light code oracle cards, and my tutor speaks light codes. That's great. And Leanne says, I saw the light. Okay, I've got a question here, and it says, and it's from Julie, and she says, would love to know my contract, Akashic records, and see and talk light language. So let's see what they say. I'm not going into the vortex here. I'm just speaking to them directly. There is a difference, and I'll tell you that afterwards. The answer is going to be for every human, and it's the same answer for everyone. To know your contract, you have to go within. You have to go within. And when you go within, it's having the faith to whatever comes your way to see it for what it is. And don't go out of yourself to ask. going out of yourself to another human to say, is this right? Oh, I'm not sure. Am I meant to be doing this? Oh, I'm not sure about this. You need to have the faith within. And to be able to have that faith, Sage can tell you, is we give you lessons, you go through the lessons, and when you get to the stage of understanding that lesson, you would know, because your energy tells you, oh, I've learnt that now, I'm not going to do that again. And that's part of your contract. And then you go on to the next, and then you go on to the next, and you go on to the next, and it grows and it grows. And that's for every human. You have to go within. This is what we keep on saying all the time. You have to go within, and you have to trust your home. You have to trust the we. Yeah. And when you trust the we, there's no I no more, because it's just the we. And when you trust the we, things open up even more. So that question is for you, but they've said it to everyone else as well, Julie. I don't know if you can understand that, because I told you they say things sometimes, and you might not get it. And that's when you can ask them yourself. You can actually ask them yourself. Okay, see if there's any more. Okay, how would you explain, this is from Liz, how would you explain how contracts mesh with free will if when you are taking questions? How would you explain how contracts mesh with free will? How would you explain how contracts mesh with free will? I don't know, was this question for me or was this question for the beings? I'm not sure. If when you are taking questions. Okay, so let me try and answer it, and then if the beings come in, they can answer that. How would you explain how contracts mesh with free will? So I'm going to break that up, yeah? So contracts and free will is, for me, as my understanding, is the same thing, yeah? Because with your contract and your free will is something that you're choosing to do. Free will is something that if you don't want to do it no more, you have choices not to do it. That's all part of the contract. Any journey that you go through or you go on, and even if you change your mind and you want free will within that, is going to be part of the contract. So it's the oneness. Yeah, there's no separation within that. I'm going to see what the beings say about that question. I'm going to give it to them. Every human's contract is the free will, because you created your contract. Humans had the free will to create what they wanted to experience here on this earthly realm. That's the free will right there. We've explained this before. When you're born and that biblical cord is cut, this is where you forget and you need to remember your contract. But the free will aspect of it is who you are as humans. You created it. You created that free will of the whole of your contract. And please remember, humans, that a contract is never alone. So all of us here in this moment was part of all of our contracts. Everyone that's on here, right now, was part of our contract. Isn't that nice? That's what they said for that one. That was a nice one. Leanne says, very interesting. I get messages and guidance for what I would call coming from the universe. My spirit guides, my clairvoyancy and intuitive abilities, and I hear the dyslexia is coming out, messages everywhere that gives me answers to my situation or solution I've been looking for. And it sounds very similar in a way. Yeah. What they're saying with that one is, remember, there's no separation. We're all one. Remember, there's no separation. So you call them angels, you call them guides, you call them aliens, you call them beings, you call them whatever names you call them. It's all the oneness. It's they're just showing themselves in a different energy form. They are just showing themselves in a different energy form. We are all one energy that is choosing different energy forms to experience. So they just wanted to say that. Angelina put, so true. I think that's why we've all come together, so we know we're not going mad. I like that. Vanessa says, this is amazing. Since I was a child, I would see things in the sky and couldn't name it. And later in life, it is more about these objects I clearly see and the design that I can't draw. But it baffles me, as I was raised Christian. Would there be anything to it? I don't know. So I'm going to go to them with that. The energies have been working with you since you was really, really young. You have the ability to see things and sight things before it's happened. It's up to you if you want to grow that illusion and grow that reality within you. But you see what you see, and it's there to give you messages and to give you answers. And if you really open up to that side of you, you will see magic start to begin. So that's for you, Vanessa. Amit says, I can relate to what Annette was going through energy-wise, because I am getting channeled constantly since my Kundalini awakening, due to my daily practice since 6 years. As the beings and Chon, Kundalini practice also connects us to our own purpose by getting rid of everything that doesn't serve us anymore. It's a very trippy process that requires slowing down and calming often. The energy is very intense, and actually, as the cosmos vibrating through me, magic is happening. So look forward to, I can't see the rest of what he wrote there. So yeah, let's see if the being says anything to that. We just want to point out there is no such thing as anything that doesn't serve you. Things that's not going to serve you, you will not experience it. It will not come your way. You will not see it. You will not connect with it. You won't be able to connect with its vibration. You won't understand it. And you won't see it. We'll give you an example. Right here, right now, there's all different dimensions going on. All different dimensions right next to everyone. We're all here. All dimensions are going on right this moment. Right this moment, all different dimensions are going on. And there's only going to be a selective of humans that can see it, that can feel it, and that will be able to understand it. And there's going to be a selective of humans that ain't going to see it and not going to feel the different dimensions that's just here right now with us. And this is what we mean by, you know, everything that comes our way, it's part of the contract. It's time. There's time when it can change form. Yeah, but it's still gonna be able to serve us in some way. And what we mean by that is that when energy changes form, it doesn't separate. Yeah, it doesn't separate. When energy changes form, it doesn't separate. It just continues on. So it's the lineage. It's the oneness of a line or a string that never breaks. Yeah. So everything that humans experience, it's serving them. It is serving them. And we're talking about things that people see as negative, that people see as, oh, killing, drugs, you know, things that's really bad. It's serving you. It's serving you. It's teachings. So it's serving you. And when something no longer serves you, it's because it's just changed form, but it's serving somebody else. So as it's serving somebody else, it's still serving you because we're one. I'll leave that. That's for you and me. Amit's put again, that was powerful. My crown opened and I shook, feeling cold. The messages has summarized my whole life purpose and current beliefs of life on earth. Thank you, beings. Thank you. Leanne has put, totally resonated with all and what they said. Gail has said, I don't understand clearly the message. Why did they mean to speak to the insects, animals, and other non-verbal? For what purpose, I guess? I like that question, because by not understanding, you get to understand. Yeah? By not understanding, you get to understand. Yeah? So when the beings talk about the oneness, they're talking about every single energy life force on this cosmos, on this planet. Now they're going to go further here and they're going to be talking about fossils. They're talking about stones that have energy. It's still part of the oneness. And what they're saying is that humans are very one way of just looking at things. And most of the time, humans just think about themselves, to be honest. Oh, us humans. Some people still think that humans are higher vibrations and insects and animals are lower vibration. And the beings will definitely say we're all one. We all have our own contract. We're all one. And we are animals. We are animals, you know, we are part of that energy field. So the only way that I can answer that question is that this is why the beings are here, to give little bits of messages each time for humans to be able to really understand what oneness really means, and not just speak it, but to become it. And I'm sure at times I will share with you guys my teachings since 2017 to now, where the beings has taken me with my teachings. You know, I had to physically and spiritually go places to get teachings and physically do things to be where I'm at now with my teachers and understand it and be it. Yeah. And that is what they're trying to get humans to be able to wake up to. Yeah. And when you wake up from that, then there's no fear no more. There's no trauma no more. there's none of that energy that maybe you was experiencing before, but you know it's going to be in others. Yeah. So once you know it's in others, you know it's still going to be part of you, because we are one. Yeah. Okay, I've got another one. I think I'll just do one more, guys. I'm gonna do Liz's one. How come a vortex method is used rather than you repeating what they are telling you telepathically? Okay, I like that question. So with me, naturally, I can just speak to the beings, and they give me messages, and I can speak it out like what I'm doing now. Yeah. And what happens with that is, because in this lifetime I have conditions. So I have dyslexia, I have autism, I have epilepsy. So I have those conditions. So I see through pictures, visual, sound, and videos. So I see that first, then I connect to words. So what happens is, when they're coming with messages and coming with messages, I have to go through a process to do that. And sometimes it takes time for me to go through the process. That's one aspect of it. The other aspect of it is, when they say things, sometimes they can be really direct and to the point. And if I'm speaking to them like this, as I can now, I might say, oh, I don't know if I want to say that part. Okay, let me not say that part and just say another part, because I'm conscious, yeah, of getting the messages. When I'm in the vortex now, I'm not here. Yeah, it's an energy form of death, if I can say that. I'm the nothingness. I don't remember being here. I don't remember having kids. I don't remember being on this show. I'm not remembering the nothingness. So by them connecting with me in that way, they're able to go straight to the point without me thinking, oh, what's other humans going to think? Oh, are they going to take it on okay? I don't need to, my ego don't need to play around with me in that way. The messages can just come straight away. So that is the difference. And the vortex experience, they only taught me where I had to go to their home spiritually and get teachings only, I think it was early last year or the beginning of this year. It's literally recent that I was able to go into the vortex, because I had other teachings to do first. And I'm sure one day I will share with you some of the teachings that I had to go through. And I think that's going to be it, guys, because we've literally done like an hour and a half. So we're going to get Annette back on.
Hi.
Yeah, so
from being so quiet, I'm not used to it.
So thank you, Annette, for coming on tonight.
Oh, you're welcome.
The beings want to come back on the 24th of May. So they give the date. I don't give the date at all. They want to share how to work with elements. How to work with elements. That's going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
How to work with elements. So they're going to come back on the 24th. I think that's a Monday. And thank you everyone that stayed on, because usually I just do an hour. So thank you guys, and I really do hope that you got something from it. And if you haven't, ask them. Their energy's there. Their energy's around. Ask them all the questions that you want to ask. You know, even if you think, I don't believe this, I think this is crap. What the hell is going on? Ask, and they will answer. They're here to answer. They're not just for me. There's no such thing as I, and they're not here just for Annette. They're here for every human, which is really nice. Do you want to say anything before we go, Annette?
Oh, too much.
Oh.
No, because I was going to talk about that when the person asked about the contracts. I I just thought, I understand that. It's very hard to explain to somebody that have a contract. But the way I would explain it really quickly is to just try and, if you catch yourself out of moment, just be in the moment, because your contract is every moment. And remember, there is no bad, or there's no wrong or right answer to your contract. It's just literally whatever, you know, you want to go left or you want to go right, and both left and right are fine. But you know, follow your gut, because your gut will always tell you, and that's the channel.
Yeah, definitely.
Because we want to go zip it.
All right, guys. I just want to say thank you to the beings.
Thank you, beings.
Thank you, Lottie. Thank you very much. And guys, I'm sending you so much love and peace. On our page, forgot what our page is called for a second. Higher self-development. How can I forget? Higher self-development. We're back here on a Wednesday where we have topics where we speak about things, and then on Saturday we have Angelina Ray doing her clairvoyant and mediumship, and then on a Monday I'm here at 7 a.m. in the morning doing my meditation and Tibetan fiber rites. Always here on a Monday. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Sending you so much love and peace. Until next time. See you later. Bye.